Hello, everyone. Welcome to round three of Level Up Your Leads with Stonewood Financial. As you can see today, I'm joined by a new guest, Brad Swinehart of White Glove. Brad, how you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, really happy to have you guys as part of this series. Our industry was frozen to webinars for what seemed like a long time. And now the country is starting to open up again, and we're getting all kinds of questions on, do we continue doing webinars? Are we doing live events? And then, of course, as we go, is my area ready for a live event? And anytime there's risk, I feel like, and are we going to get enough people to show up? Boy, White Glove certainly comes to mind, right? Because you guys absorb all of that risk of getting, the numbers to the event. And so, you guys were really innovative in this industry and bringing this type of business model to the seminar event-based marketing industry. So we felt like it made perfect sense to bring you guys on board for this series. So to our Stonewood members, I think here at Stonewood, we've worked with White Glove for years and years. And I can't tell you how many successful events we've heard about and people taking the ideas that Brad's going to show here and turning it into serious production and ROI. And if you're in your business and you're thinking about marketing, I know ROI is key. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and let Brad, you can kind of talk through some of the stuff that we've done where you can take Stonewood content and then use the experts at White Glove to get people to show up to those events. Brad, why don't you go ahead and go for the next 20 minutes or so. Anyone that has questions, feel free to use the technology. So you can use either the chat functionality or the Q&A. I'm going to hang out in the background. I'm going to capture those questions. So if anyone, if I feel the need to interrupt you, I will. Otherwise, I'll just capture them and we'll have a nice Q&A at the end. So Brad, why don't you go ahead and take things over?
Thanks, Neil. Appreciate the welcoming on the show, and we've had a great partnership so far, and looking forward to push that even further into this next year with some of White Glove's new offerings and how that continues to pair really well with Stonewood and what we've done, in preparation for the new items that Stonewood's coming out with and how you can use White Glove services for that. So any of you that don't know who White Glove is, I'll run through this really quickly. We were founded by a couple of financial advisors, built their practice very successfully doing educational seminars, and quite honestly, they hated it. There was a lot of financial risk. There was a lot of minutia when it comes to event planning, and all of that detracted from what they love doing, and that's meeting new prospects and speaking with their clients. And that's what the whole idea behind a White Glove is to take all of that work off the advisor's plate, but also take that financial risk off your plate as well. And, we were poised to do 800 in-person events in March of 2020, and instead we did 0. So we were shoulder to shoulder with our advisors. They were all totally protected on their marketing budgets, but we were also in the same boat as, hey, we need to find something that works. And how can we continue to educate communities when, dinner events and libraries are no longer an option? So we very quickly pivoted to webinars, looking to do the same level of service where we're doing all the work and also taking all the financial risk. And then what we've really built in the last 18 months, which is on the framework of what we've built over the last 6 years, is a full system that goes from prospect to referring client. And what we're going to speak about today is looking to fill that prospect pipeline, see what other advisors are doing to see success, and looking at the risk-free options that White Glove has. And we are great partners with Stonewood, so we will have a special offer just for the advisors on the call and that are working with Stonewood today. If you want a sneak peek at that, you can click right on that button there and register, but we will get to what that is here at the end. So, the real transition is coming when, we have to adapt to this hybrid of digital to live to in-person, and what makes the most sense for you and your practice. And that's what we get questions from advisors all the time is, when can I get back to seminars? Should I stop doing webinars? I did webinars and they didn't work maybe. So what is the answer for 2021? And really, if you look at it strictly from a consumer standpoint, that education is always going to reign in above sales. And one of the greatest ways that we found to do that is in-person seminars, is to show that education. But then you add in the efficiencies that we found in 2020, where you've just told all your best prospects and even your top clients that they can get all the information and education they need sitting at home in their pajamas, right? And the neat thing about that is we've really got rid of those backyards that advisors were strictly focused on, where I can only market to people that are in 15 miles of my office because that's as far as they're going to drive. So the efficiencies we found in 2020, you combine that with what worked and what we're eager to get back to from 2019 and before, and that's going to give you this hybrid approach of what you're going to have for your best 2021 and beyond. If you can showcase strong authenticity and credibility virtually, and then pair in doing your in-person events as you get back to that, you're not only going to have unlimited inventory and a bigger reach, but you're also going to be able to reach out to those prospects that are just not comfortable meeting in person yet, or that just find it more convenient to do virtually. So the biggest questions that we always hear are, our seminars coming back when? What happens if I book something and something changes? What if my venue cancels? And you know what? Ultimately, our webinars, now that we've done this for a year, are they effective enough to keep into my marketing campaign? So with White Glove, we take all the risk and we do all the work. And what that means for you, other than all these great little talking points here, what that means for you is that we are laser focused on actual results. So we're not dropping a mailer or running a digital campaign and hoping to get registrations on your dime. We're spending our money up front. So what we're always doing is trying to find out what is working best, what topics are working best, what ad sets are working best. Is it in person? Is it webinar? Is it a mixture of both? And we're constantly testing and innovating this on our marketing spend, not our advisors' marketing spend. So everything that we do is a pay for attendance model. That means you're paying after the event and you're only paying based on actual attendance. So what we've come out with is really 3 introduction services that are all really tied into what Stonewood offers as far as their topics go and as far as their content. So in-person workshops, both lunch and learns, dinner events, educational venues such as libraries, community centers. We do a full done-for-you webinar series, which is exactly like it sounds. You're going to record this thing and you're going to walk away, and all you have to worry about is working the appointments after we've run the webinar, we've booked them, we've used your calendar, we've done everything for you. And then a newest service is a virtual direct one-on-one workshop or an appointment put directly on your calendar where, again, you're only paying for households who actually attend. So one of the things that we've developed in-house here at White Glove is what we call green zone technology. Since we're running all these ads ourselves, since we are monitoring attendance rates, registration rates, overall conversion rates, what that allows us to do is take that marketing knowledge and layer that over across investor demand, demographics attracted to advisors, and looking at those topics, we can hone in on what we would call a green zone, which is a zone that we feel is going to be in high demand, that there's less saturation from ads and other advisors. And ultimately what it results in is there's no more guessing from you or the advisors of what might work. There's no more diminishing returns as, can we try this? Can we try this? We're going to preemptively be able to tell you we should go here, here, and here. And anytime you're working with White Glove, whether you decide to move forward with us or not, you can reach out and get a free marketing area review and consultation. So we can look at those green zones for you and say, hey, this is what's going to perform well in your area, and this is what's available. So speaking of the services that we offer, so we offer those 3 types of introduction services. Seminars, they absolutely are back. Depending on your area, depends on what is opened up. Educational seminars, White Glove handles all the venue logistics. So that means coordination, booking, we reserve it for you, we secure any of the insurance. We look at the venue rules as far as COVID and what is allowed, how many seats, it might be a 30-person room, but now maybe that library or community center is only allowing 15 people in there. We look at all of that and we compare that to what you want for your event, so we do all that for you. Food seminars is something that White Glove never really did a ton of in the past. We've always had it as an option, but actually what intrigued us the most about these things coming back onto our platform is that because of established COVID protocols, your registrants and those consumers are actually feeling more comfortable at a lunch and learn or a dinner event because of the cleanliness of the venue. Less enticed by the steak, right? More enticed by, I've been in a restaurant, I know they're clean, that's how they stay open. whereas they may not have been in a library or a community center in the last 18 months. So that's something that White Glove does support with our marketing. Again, you're only paying for those who attend. And the nice thing when you're doing in-person events with White Glove is if nobody attends, you don't pay for anything. You're totally covered. And we also have built-in pivot options when it comes to closures. So if your venue shuts down, something happens, we're going to do all the work moving those registrations over to a webinar for you and making sure that your pipeline is protected as well as your wallet. So, the big question out there is, do webinars work? And I feel for advisors that were bombarded in April of last year by all these marketing wizards and ninjas living in their mom's basement that promised leads and promised webinars. And a lot of advisors ended up having bad experiences with webinars or digital offerings by unproven companies out there selling at the cheapest amount that they could get. White Glove, on the other hand, we have a tried and true model. We've done 1,800 plus webinars to date. We have almost a 90% fulfillment rate, which means if you order 20 households in attendance, we're going to get you 20 households in attendance. And the most interesting stat about this is, on average, for each webinar we run, we're getting 5.5 pre-event appointment requests. That means before the event even starts, we have 5 of those registrations saying that they want to talk to you. So that's all baked into the service that we run for you. When we run webinars, they're rebroadcasted, they're recordings. We score them, we edit them, we work with you to make sure that they are high converting so you're not practicing in front of prospects. And then we run that as it's live. And we do engagement tools like polls, pop-ups, calendar invites throughout the webinar for you on your behalf so that those registrants are encouraged to book an appointment with you. We even handle that very first round of appointment setting calls after your webinar. We saw the best practice was advisors would reach out immediately following a webinar. Those were getting the best appointment sets. So White Glove took a step further and said, you know what, we'll do that for you. So whenever it comes to our group events, so that's in-person seminars or webinars, we really want to support you prior to the event. So educational venues, we book those for you. We do a marketing review for optimal performance, and we will come back to you if this will work, this will not work, this is what we expect to see. And the greatest thing with us is you're going to set your own budget. So you only pay for those who attend, but you actually get to tell us how many households you want there. We handle all the marketing, registrations, confirmation calls, reminder emails, text messages, phone calls. And ultimately what that does is, even though we're really great at pulling those registrants and wrestling them into a webinar or an event, you're going to end up getting all of the no-show contacts absolutely free. So if they registered and they didn't attend, that contact information is for you for free, but you're only paying for those who actually attend. And we constantly are updating our coaching, training, and prepping of all of our advisors that work with us for optimal conversions. When you do a webinar, we'll send in your recording. We're going to go through, again, we've watched 1,800 of these because we do them live. That's White Glove has a human being on every single one. So we're going to run through your presentation with you and give you a scorecard that really grades exactly how well you did and make any adjustments ahead of putting them in front of prospects. After the event, what we found the most successful advisors were doing was having a very robust follow-up sequence. So what we wanted to do is take that off your plate as well and do that for you. So we have enriched data through our advisor portal that gives you additional financial data, all your registrants. We have follow-up materials all branded to you. That includes emails, text messages, all inviting them to schedule a consultation with you, all with your branding. You get to shoot a video. It's all very, very high quality post-event engagement, and it's all done for you for free. This is not an add-on sale. This isn't me trying to upsell you in anything. We know what matters most is appointments for advisors. So you're going to get that full contact information. You're going to get those pre-event appointment requests. And throughout the event, if it's a webinar, we're going to be pushing your calendar, your engagement. And then afterwards is where we do that first round of appointment setting calls. And we do that nurturing sequence, which is 50 days. So if they didn't book an appointment with you during the seminar or the webinar, you have 50 days of us nurturing those people in order to get them on your calendar for you. Really, we want to make sure that all the best practices are followed. And if we can do it for you, that's absolutely what we want to do. One thing that makes White Glove a little bit different than any of the other mail companies out there or digital marketing companies out there is when we market an event, we use a top-rated educational brand. So Taxes and Retirement 567, for example, it's rated on the Better Business Bureau. It's rated 5 stars on Facebook. And when a consumer sees that, they can recognize that that is a highly credible educational brand. And when the advisor presents on behalf of Taxes and Retirement 567, for example, they get to associate themselves with that educational brand and really take down that natural barrier that someone's going to build up and say, ooh, this is going to be a sales pitch, because they know that it's Better Business Bureau rated, Facebook rated, it's a high quality brand. So what we've done with Stonewood is we've worked together on our taxes and retirement topic, which fits in very nicely with the holistic retirement topic that is coming out now, that you guys are going to have access to. So what we're able to do is take our top performing ads that have our proven results behind them when it comes to the taxes and retirement topic, that has our highest attendance rates, as reliable fulfillment based on thousands of data points. And we know that there's investor demand there based on this top educational topic. What we're able to do is take those speaking points, combine them with the holistic retirement attitude or mentality, if you will. And what we've been able to do is create a taxes and retirement marketing message that will very easily coincide with the holistic planning that you guys are going to be have access to. So we've done that ahead of time to make sure that you guys have the best marketing combined with the risk-free working with White Glove. And then that ties in exactly with what you guys want to talk about. One of the nice things working with us is we'll be very upfront, and we will show you, this is a copy of our landing page here, but you'll get full access to this prior to ever hosting an event. So when you sit in a room with consumers or attendees or prospects, you will know what they expect to hear, and you can tailor your message to combine exactly what we know will fill an event with high quality and what you know will be high converting from Stonewood. And that's that magical mix, that, that peanut butter and chocolate, if you will, that makes our two companies so great together, is it really takes all the risk and the planning off of it. And you combine those marketing messages and you get something that's very, very powerful and high converting. In order to work with us for a seminar, it's usually about 4 to 6 weeks to get prepped. For a webinar, it's significantly less than that, probably 3 to 4 weeks. And then you can reach out to us. Again, there's going to be a special offer here at the end. I know there was one other mention here, and I'll go through this very quickly here, and then we'll get to some questions. There was one other mention of our newest service, and that's our direct one-on-one workshops. And essentially what this is you're fast forwarding through the webinar, through the seminar, if you will, and you're getting right to a 30-minute consultation. And it's still based on a taxes and retirement topic, so you're still going to be using a lot of the same messaging that Stonewood has trained you on. And what's great about this is, if you haven't had luck with webinars and your area's maybe not open up for seminars yet, but maybe you just want to talk to 5 more people a month, this direct virtual offering, it finds prospects, it qualifies them, it books a virtual meeting with you directly on your calendar. We qualify them, we add additional questions before the appointment is held. And then when you log on, we log on with you, introduce you as the expert. And again, if they don't show up, if a household doesn't show up to that appointment, you don't pay for it. You get that registrant data, you get all that qualifying data for free, and you can reschedule them. You're only paying for the appointments that are kept. So we do a full list of things prior to them talking to you. There's about 13 touch points between ad and they're on the phone with you finally. And all we need you to do is show up, be likable, and then try to work those no-shows. If they don't show up, we highly recommend just reschedule that appointment. The advisors that are using the system, and they're seeing more than a 75% second appointment rate by focusing on just building rapport, answering some basic questions. They're really trying to get through that fact finder and set that second meeting to review solutions. Now, like all of our services, they're guaranteed. We just offer a minimum of 5 appointments per month, and then you're paying $6.99 per kept appointment. Typically, that comes with 1 to 2 additional qualified leads. So if you think about it, $300 or 3 leads for that $6.99 price tag. For our library events, webinars, food seminars, and direct one-on-ones, here's all the pricing for that. But we know that Stonewood is such great partners, they've asked for a little bit better deal than that. I still have to get them to put in a light switch in here that doesn't shut off on me automatically, but we'll get to that later. But if you're looking for that holistic retirement topic, that taxes and retirement, this is what you're going to get per attended household. And again, you're going to get about half of those for free because all that no-show contact information is absolutely free. So I'd love to open this up for questions, but we do have a special offer. You can click right here on the screen if you're interested in that free marketing analysis. You want to lock into this offer and discuss what options you have in your area, or even if you're doing virtual, you no longer are limited to that backyard. But we're going to offer out $20 off per attended household for any group workshop, whether that's in person or webinar, and $200 off your direct one-on-one appointments. So that brings that down to $499 per kept appointment. So you can skip right to that consultation. So we've worked very hard with Stonewood in order to match our messages with the top performing topic that we have, our taxes and retirement, and the Stonewood offerings with holistic planning. We think it's a natural fit. It's a very good combination of what converts very well compared to what's working in the industry. And ultimately, White Glove is that solution if you're looking to take the work off your plate. But like Neil was saying earlier, a lot of areas are open. The attendance rates are a little bit all over the place with, COVID spikes, people trying to get back out of the house again. Let us take that risk for you when you're getting back to seminars. Many of our advisors have already booked out for the fall, getting those events locked in now before they go on vacation or take the next couple of months off. So we want to get you guys locked into this now. We are on a first come, first serve basis when it comes to our areas. So we don't sell territories, but there's only so much inventory in an area. So if you want to soak that up, you want to get your event booked, then reach out to us today. Again, find out more, lock into that offer, click that right there. And Neil, I'd love to open it up for any questions. I knew I went really fast through a handful of those offerings, but
no, that's very helpful. And I first off, some comments before we get to the questions. Just from, when you get to the part where you talk about the one-on-one workshop, I say if anyone has any doubts about White Glove's ability to market, how about taking a good old-fashioned appointment setting program and rebranding it as one-to-one workshops? I heard you guys talk about that at I think at your host event, and I thought it was brilliant. It really is, because at the end of the day, what do you want, right? You want appointments, and that's what that stuff is. But a one-to-one workshop, though, boy, does that sound appealing. But no, I think that's really great stuff. Really do. I love it. And so one of the questions that we got, and it's funny, we get this question every time we have these. It's like, okay, so how does this work? I know you guys are Stonewood and White Glove, you're separate companies. What's the recipe to work here? And so I'm going to tackle that one for you first. The recipe to success here is you first off just talk to your Stonewood member services representative, and they'll get you in contact with Brad, and that way you'll know that you'll get the Stonewood discounts that he put forth there. You'll also know that we're using this. That way, when the referral happens over to White Glove, they'll know that you're a Stonewood member and you're going to be using the Stonewood content during the event. So that's step one. Now, I don't think there's any better way really to go about this. If you have any doubt about whether people are going to show up, outsource that risk to White Glove. And he talks about somewhat limited capacity. That's because they're guaranteeing this stuff, and they can't have 200 advisors in every little market doing all these events. They got to spread it out a little bit. So I do think that it's important, if you have interest in doing this, act now and let them take all the risk. So that's, get started with them. And then as far as hosting the event, he put a picture of the book, The New Holistic. If you didn't know what he's talking about there, it's because you haven't been on our trainings, and shame on you. We're in the middle of an IUL Masters Academy now. We are launching our brand new book, and it's called The New Holistic, and The New Holistic Retirement. And it really does, it fits in ideally with the White Glove Workshop front-end marketing that they've done. They've done a great job of customizing that tax message, because what you're going to do at that event is you're going to be the advisor in their market that's able to identify tax risk and then quantify it using Stonewood reports, and then the hook to get people to book an appointment, which is the most important. If you're in a pay-per-lead, you got to make sure that you can book that appointment. You use the Stonewood, the reports to hook them to make sure they want to come in and spend time with you. and then you can actually use the Stonewood reports to close that business, right? So, but you can use the New Holistic Book. It's all about being the advisor in your market that diversifies their portfolios as it pertains to the taxation of the assets. It's not enough to just look at market risk. It's not enough to just look at income risk. Taxes are a rising risk, and they're going to get people to your events. And then when you deliver this message, they are going to want to spend time with you. So, the book, part of the trainings that we do, you're able to customize that book. You can you can be the author of the foreword. You can put your name on the cover. You put your bio on the back. Works great in these type of educational / workshop type settings where you get some kind of bought, partnership really with Stonewood and using, and using the, like writing the foreword. So great idea there. That's definitely part of the recipe. And then you actually host the event. And what I love about this, and when you put Stonewood plus White Glove, not only do you get training from Stonewood on the front end, right? Our member services team is going to show you what to say before you say it. Here on this slide, this is what you need to emphasize. On the next slide, this is what you need to emphasize. Here's where you get the hook and really, call to action. You get all of that pre-training, and then you go and you have your event. And then you get to have a post wrap up with White Glove, and they can talk to you about all the stuff they do on the back end and to make sure that the next event that you host is even better. And so when you put all of that together, it's just a really great recipe to success. So I don't think I had any other questions. I happen to, I have this skill of being able to pull them all into kind of one kind of Q&A kind of deal there. But I really think that that's, how you want to let this stuff unfold. So I know we've got several people interested, Brad, already, just from the comments that I'm getting here. So, all of you reach out to your member services representative. They'll get you in contact with Brad, and we'll push you down that path to success. So, Brad, any parting shots before we take off?
Neil, just thanks for having us on. We're always happy to be a partner, and I'm really excited for the work we've done together to get this new offering out there, to really kind of combine your new stuff, our new stuff of what's really going to be working. And whether advisors are eager to get back to in person and they don't want to take the risk, or maybe you tried webinars in the past and they didn't work out, but there's something there, definitely give us a call. We'll do that marketing consultation. And we'll say, hey, this is what's available in your area, your ideal demographic. Whether you use us or not, that's still free. And we're going to go through your marketing plan with you and really kind of be a support, because we know that there's so many consumers out there that need this information, and you guys are the professionals to give it to them. So we're happy to partner with Stonewood and very excited about the new offering together.
Awesome, Brad. Well, really appreciate the time today. Those of you that dialed in, appreciate you giving us a half hour of your time. You can get back to your day, go close some more business, and then we'll see you next week on round 4 of what we're calling Level Up Your Leads. Brad, thanks again, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.